My faithful and wonderful James Mandelaire YouTube pals, how you doing? We are beginning a brand new series today. A new game to play, a more modern game than the previous one. This is Sid Meier's Civilization VI, The Gathering Storm by Firaxis Games. And we are going to play one of the most engrossing, interesting, fascinating games I've ever found in all my years of gaming. This is my favorite game these days. It's really fun to play, and we're going to have a blast. I've put some mods in that can enhance the game a little bit so we can have a good time at it, and it's a little overpowering, but there's nothing wrong with that, I think, just because, if I was playing myself, I don't mind a challenge. I don't mind going 150 turns before I finally get ahead of the AI and begin to win, but I don't want to put you through that. So we're going to play a nice, easy game of it, and we're going to have fun. We're going to put some exaggerated wonders down. Got 3 times the wonder power, and that's going to really help to make the game a lot more fun and a lot more easy to win. I know that's a cheat, but it's a fun one. So, I don't want to, make you sit through a challenging game that takes forever to win or is filled with too many challenges that kind of bog down the game a little bit. And I don't mind playing like that, but I don't want you to have to sit through that. So that's what we're going to do. There's a few things to explain before we get going here. First of all, I'm not the greatest Civ player in the world. I don't mean to be. I like to play the long game. I'm not in a hurry to win. We're going to play an interesting game, I hope, here. I've tried to do this, I think, 10, 11, 12 times, and I haven't had too much success at it, so I've had to start over again many times. I played the map many times, and, decided to start over, not because I was necessarily losing, but because I didn't think it was an interesting enough game. So I want it to be interesting for you and fun. So we're going to try to work on that. Also, there's a few things that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to have in the game. One of them, the biggest one, is that the great actor Sean Bean is not going to be able to make an appearance on the James Mandelaire YouTube channel today because no matter what I did to try to fix my audio, I got headphones in, I did everything I could not stop the narration from being so filled with echo that you couldn't really understand him. Unfortunately, that also applies to the original languages that the other civilizations speak, which I just love to listen to. I love languages. I don't speak them, but I just love to listen to them, sort of like a musician would listen to music. It's music to me ears, but we can't do it because it's too echoey and you can't even understand it, just be a bunch of noise. So unfortunately, we have to forego that. I'm going to read Sean Bean's part as best as I can and try not to X out of the great quotes and read them to you too. And hopefully make it a fun and interesting experience. This game takes a civilization from the ancient era right through to the space age, evolving through the game. It's just, you get lost in it. It's that good. They really nailed it with Civilization 6, I think. And, some people criticize the game for various reasons, and I may express some criticism here or there, but, I mean, this game is genius, especially if you're a history buff like me, or you're into other cultures like I am, and you like to travel to other lands and investigate their histories and their religions and their philosophies and their art and their ideas. I've done that all over the world. I love doing that. I can't afford it these days because the rich people are gobbling up all the money, but, they're doing fine, so don't worry about them. Now, let's see. What else do I want to say? I'm going to try to keep these episodes to 30 minutes, give or take a little. And I'll also want to tell you that at the end of the video, I often kind of go into a kind of a tangent, talking about other things that are maybe related to the game, but are personal or philosophical or spiritual or something. If you don't want to hear that, you can just click out. It's at the end usually. Although I'll talk about stuff during the game too. Depends on how the game inspires me. This is all spontaneous. I'm not reading from a teleprompter or script. I'm just sitting here chatting with you. So really appreciate your views. I can't tell you how much it means to an old unknown artist who's been underappreciated in his life for his work to see that this art, and it is an art, this gaming is an art. It's not a waste of time. It's very good for you as far as your mechanics of your brain and enhancing those pathways, especially in a person my age. I'm 67 years old. I'm getting on a bit long in the tooth, as they say. And it's good for you. All these little details going through your brain. It's good. Also, the feelings and the profound feelings that you get through a game and through sports. Sports, too, can be very profound. There are things that happen that, inspire you with joy when you win or do something clever or some kind of neat scenario happens in the game. There's so many complexities that these fun things happen. Sometimes, it's a matter of timing or whatever it is, but these fun things happen. They give you a jolt of joy in your life, and there's nothing wrong with that. Even some of the challenges, get you all, tense, but it's fun. There's no real consequences. You can put all the politics and the wars and the poverty and all those things aside and just play a nice game and enjoy. Just a great thing to do to bring your life some joy. It is an art form because there's a sense of accomplishment in the procedure of it, in the practice of this game, and it is created by artists and thinkers and philosophers and historians to give you a enjoying, enlightening, entertaining, and educational opportunity to, look at history through the Civilization 6 lens. So I really want to thank everybody at Firaxis Games and good old Sid Meier for his guidance and inspiration. And I want to thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, your interaction with the video will help spread it around. I get one like and suddenly I got 100 views. So if you could do that, it'd be great. If you just want to watch a few minutes and get a sandwich and sit there and laugh at somebody stumbling through this excellent game, that's good too. Really appreciate it. Gotta tell you. Gamer Jamer, let's get on with the game here. What are you doing? Let's see. Did I cover all the bases? Did I tell you everything I wanted to? I think I did. We're going to go here to single player. We're not playing multiplayer online. We're going to go to create game. And I'm going to walk you through the whole setup here. Advanced setup. We're going to go. I'm really conflicted. Should we do it on King difficulty or try for Emperor difficulty? We have exaggerated wonders to help us out. Emperor is what I usually play on. I tried to play on Immortal once, and I got my Immortal handed to me, so that didn't quite work out. I've done, like I said, many playthroughs now so far on Emperor, and I didn't have a great time because it was, the game is designed to give the other civilizations great bonuses in the early game, because the artificial intelligence isn't great at strategizing in a game using all the different mechanics in a game toward a single goal, but the human brain can do that. So as the game goes on, the human brain has an advantage. So they try to mitigate that by giving the artificial intelligence lots of bonuses in the early game. So you're always behind in the early game, and you got to work at catching up and surpassing the other civilizations to get your victory type. And we'll talk some more about that. Excuse me. I find King difficulty to be too easy for me at this stage. I played over 4,000 hours of the game, but I don't want it to be too hard either, because then that's no fun for you. I'm going to go with King and see how it goes. I might have to, start over if it's too easy. I don't want to do that. So for the next thing we're going to do is we're going to zip down here and get a true start location Mediterranean map, because we are trying to, approximate the historical development of the Roman Empire. We're going to play Julius Ceasar, the son of Venus, one of the most famous men in history. And I don't think it's any coincidence that Julius Caesar and Jesus Christ have the same initials. Aha, see, you didn't think about that, did you? Anyway, we're going to select this map. That's going to be fun. They're going to start on the very locations they are at in the geography of the map. The resources on the map are going to be the ones that are there on the map, just translated into Civilization 6 world. So that's going to be fun. We are going to use barbarian clans because Julius Caesar's abilities interact with barbarians really well. We're going to put on the heroes and legends because I love heroes and legends. They also help to boost your game and help you to catch up to the other civilizations. The monopolies and corporations mode I don't quite understand, so I want to practice with that so I can get a better understanding of it through the game. Maybe I can learn how to do it better. Secret societies are essential. We have to get the Owls of Minerva. Love the Owls of Minerva. It's the one I always choose. I think the vampires are ridiculous. It's just too much. I don't like the vampires, so I don't pick them. The Hermetic Order, never used it. I only use the owls. I don't even know how to do the other ones. Start by Wonders is irrelevant because it's a mod that I put in the game. It's irrelevant because the wonders that appear on the map are the geographical wonders that are actually on the map because it's a true start location Mediterranean map, RC. And what we're going to try to do is restore the boundaries of the historical Roman Empire if we can and make the Mediterranean RC by overcoming everybody else. Going to turn on Socrates Oceans because it just kind of enhances the ocean side of the game, the naval side of the game, and that's fun. Extra buildings and extra resources and stuff. Another way to buff the game a little bit for the player. And it's fun. Lots of fun. And, let's take a second to recognize the work of the modification crew that makes mods for the game. We love that. And thank you so much for that. Since we're on King difficulty, I think we can handle Alexander in the game, so let's put him for Macedonia, because Alexander's before Julius Caesar's time, and Julius Caesar had great admiration for Alexander. There's a story that Julius Caesar found Alexander's tomb and wept because he was in his 40s or 50s, and he hadn't accomplished as half as much as Alexander, so he cried. Supposedly, it's a story, I don't want to X him out. We got to get Ambiorix, the Gauls. Julius Caesar is famous for his campaign against the Gauls that made his name, and also made him nefarious as far as Rome is concerned because he refused to give up his legions when the Roman Senate asked him to, so they made him an outlaw. And that's why he crossed the Rubicon with his legions. That was against the law in Rome. You weren't supposed to bring your legions into Italy. They're supposed to stay in Gaul or Spain or Africa or wherever the heck they were, Palestine. We weren't supposed to bring them into Rome. And Julius Caesar, being the great man that he was, crashed through that taboo, brought his soldiers, the 13th Legion, into Rome, and quelled the problems, the dissent that was going on. It was getting really bad. And with a firm hand, he became dictator for life. The Senate made him dictator for life. And that began his downfall. Now, Dido's in the game here because she represents the Phoenicians, and the Phoenicians were an early adversary of Rome. They had Carthage in Africa, and took many years, Punic Wars over and over again to get them subdued, but they eventually did, took Carthage and all that. I'm going to put Gorgo for the Spartans in the game because, just between you and me, I love Gorgo. There's something about her. She makes my heart go pitter-pat, and I can't help it. I like strong women, and she's just got that classic, tough, classic Greek face. I have a crush on Gorgo. I think she's gorgeous. So there. So she's in the game. Besides, Rome did have a lot of trouble with subduing the Greeks. So we're going to put them in. They also stole everything in their whole culture from the Greeks, including their religion. Okay. Now, I don't want Frederick Barbarossa for the Germans. We already have the Gauls. I don't know about Gilgabro. Did Rome have any trouble with the Persians or with Mesopotamia? Of course, Gilgamesh is far before Caesar's time, so I don't know about him. I do want to put Portugal in the game. Of course, Portugal was big in the Age of Exploration after the Roman Empire, but I want somebody in the West, or it's just empty lands, and I want to kind of fill up the map a little bit. So I'm going to put him in. I like him anyway. He's a lot of fun. He's very friendly and nice, and I just love the Portuguese. I almost went to Portugal once. We had a plan. We were going to go. We ended up going to my favorite country and my favorite city in the world, bar none. That it would be Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I'm going to put Philip in just to kind of give Portugal something to do, although Philip is a evangelizing religious nut. I'm not big on evangelizing religious people. I'm not an evangelist. I don't evangelize my religion. I do like to share my religion with folks, but I don't evangelize because I'm the only member of my church, the Church of the Holy Fool. Try to join, I'll kick you out. So I'm not an evangelist. I don't evangelize. I don't proselytize. I don't mind sharing my religious beliefs or my spiritual beliefs with people because I think that there is a kind of a new evolution of spirituality in the modern world called personal religion. And I worked in high or low in this world. I've been a factory worker. I've worked at McDonald's. I've also been a teacher. I worked at universities and schools. And everywhere I went, I found philosophical, talented, gifted people. High or low, it didn't matter. Educated or uneducated, didn't matter. They were very gifted people. They are gifted in the arts or music. And they just follow their own personal guide to do that. They don't, I don't believe in the elitism of power, wealth, or talent. Everybody's an artist. Everybody's creative. Saladin is put in the game to represent the Middle East. They don't have any Jewish leaders. I can't put Herod in the game. I can't put King David in the game or Solomon. Because they don't have any Jewish leaders. So we're going to go with the beautiful Arabic people. Saladin is in the Middle Ages, past Rome's time. He fought against the Crusaders. But we're going to put him in to represent the Middle East. So we have Africa represented by Cleopatra. We have Northern Europe with the Gauls. We have Africa with Dido. I think Dido is originated in Africa, the Phoenicians. Gorgo for the Greeks. And we got the West populated. This random leader, sometimes I just leave the random leader and just go for a mystery guest, but that can sometimes backfire. So for the purposes of an entertaining game, what I'm going to do, just take that guy off. We don't need to put any more people in the game. That's enough people. What's this deal? We don't want to put Alexander as what we're going to play, right? We want to play Julius. So let's go with Julius. What's going on? Okay, here we go. We got to put Julius in here. Sorry, people, I'm messing up. That's Julius, okay? And I guess we could add another person in here for Alexander, the boy king. We'll put him in. All right. Because Julius Caesar had great admiration for him. Now we have a strike here. You see this little red exclamation point for our beloved Gorgo. It's because her shield looks too much like another shield. And they want to change it. So I'm going to change it to that one. I like that one. Now there's no strikes. Every shield is distinctly different so that we can understand what we're dealing with. We don't want this random leader in here. Okay. Alrighty. And we got everybody? All aboard who's going aboard? Alright. That looks pretty good. Just wanted to check. We're going to go with a light game difficulty so we can have a good, fun, excellent game. If it becomes a blowout and it's way too easy, which it may be with the mods that I have, I might change it again and go up to a higher difficulty. But I'm going to try to do this just so that you and I can have fun here. I think we're all set. We're just about to get into the game. Yes, sir. It does look like it is time. Let us play the actual game, Gamer Jamers. They're here doing all this chit-chat about all kinds of stuff. Here, let's go. get it going. Here we go. Unfortunately, old Sean Bean will not be able to join us. I'm so sad, but I couldn't fix it. I couldn't get it right. I'll try my best to rise to the occasion here. Again, I just want to say all the litany of things that YouTubers say before we get started. Please like the video. Please comment on the video. Please share the video. Please watch some other videos on my channel. I got all kinds of a variety of different things that you could enjoy. Maybe if you're into art, music, spirituality, politics, world travel, all kinds of things on my channel. The Roman Empire joins the world stage. From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest, from this early cradle of civilization, on toward the stars. Hail, Caesar, general, patrician, and dictator of Rome. Your people and your ambition call to you across the ages. The die is cast, and let none stand against your vision, whether they be your bitter foes or your closest friends. Jupiter, protect me from my friends and family. My enemies I can handle. It's always those closest to you that can do the most damage. Now here he is. Here's Julius Caesar. Look at him, the old ham-fisted Julius Caesar. He's got his crown, his golden leaf crown on for being dictator for life. He's all gold-plated with his gold-plated armor. He's got his leather wristbands and everything. He's got his broadsword, the gladius, the greatest weapon of that time. Gave the Romans quite the edge. And because it was a thick sword, it wasn't just like a thin sword we see these days. It was a club. And it could stab, yes, and cut, but it could also clobber. That was its brutal efficiency. And the Romans were brutally efficient. And for our purposes here in Civilization 6 world, we have certain features and abilities that are unique to each civilization. That's why every game is different. That's the beauty of this game. You never get bored with it, because every game is completely different than the one you played before. Like I said, I've gone through this scenario, 11, 12 times, and it's always been different each time. It's great. You never get tired of it. But with the Vini Vidi Vici, where have we heard that before? I saw, I conquered. 300 gold whenever you conquer a city for the first time, or when you earn gold from a barbarian outpost. And we're going to take full advantage of that. $300 really helps out your economy. Every time you raid a barbarian outpost, every time you take a city, well, the first time you take a city, if you have to take it repeatedly, you don't get the 300 every time. As you research, and we'll see what that's about, but as we research, we'll come into metal casting, and we'll get bumped up to 700. And once we get to steel, we'll unlock that technology. We'll get $700 every time we raid a barbarian camp or take a city. That's going to be quite the boost. We receive +5 combat strength when dealing with barbarians. We always earn normal experience points toward promotions. All roads lead to Rome. All cities you found or conquer start with a trading post. If in trade route range to your capital, they also start with a road. Your trade routes earn +1 gold for passing through trading posts in your own cities. That's interesting. So all roads lead to Rome. Helps our units get around the map quicker, because roads do that. Usually traders, when you make them, they make roads. But in this particular instance, you found a city. It has a road to it that goes right to Rome. That's very, very good. The Legion is our unique military unit. The Bath is a unique district that's like the Aqueduct with some extra bonuses for Rome. And the Villa Rustica is a neat building you can build eventually in the game that gives you bonuses and pluses. And that's all you're after. You want bonuses and pluses to get you beyond the overpowered early game civilizations, because they get a lot of bonuses. For instance, you'll get one settler, they'll get 3, and the higher difficulty, the more they get bonuses. Now, I'm not sure what the bonuses are specifically, but if you want to know, I would recommend watching a true expert in this game, and a very entertaining and lovely gentleman. Comes from one of my favorite cities. I've been there a couple times, 3 times, I think. That'd be Dublin, Ireland. Got a nice lilting accent, not too heavy. A very funny guy, and I just love watching his videos. He's taught me so much, and I really appreciate Potato McWhiskey. Go watch him after you're done watching me, because I take a kind of a soft and slow approach to gaming. I am not in a hurry to prove that I can win in 100 turns or whatever. My strategy takes over 200 turns usually, and I just enjoy playing, so I don't mind. And we'll talk about my strategy in-game. Speaking of in-game, let us begin before we run out of time. All right, now here we are. We have 2 settlers here. This is ours. We're Rome. This is our warrior. Now notice the bonus that this AI gets. He gets 2 warriors. I get 1. He gets this settlers for Vatican City, and the reason why they both spawned here, because if you know about geography or European geography, that Vatican City is inside Rome. It's a separate and independent state inside the city of Rome. So they both spawn in the same place. Now, I've tried many things to try to get this settler and steal it from these guys, but you can't. You can't get to it. The only thing you can do is settle so that this guy doesn't settle on the next turn, and then you can't settle, because you can't settle close to other cities. They have to have 3 rings around them for their territory to grow to. So if you don't settle right here, you get locked out. You can't settle. So I'm going to settle my settler right there on the Tiber. I think it says the Tiber, right? Yep, it's the Tiber River. They got it right this time. Sometimes it's something else. I'm going to move this warrior into the city to move toward this settler to try to nab it. If I had another turn, I could nab it, right? I'm not going to do that. Not going to declare war and try to steal it, because it runs away and you never get it, and then you're just in a heap of trouble because they got 2 warriors and you got 1. So that's not a good ploy. What you're going to do is just go here to the production queue, open it up, and these are all the things that right now in the game you can make. You can't make a settler because you got to have 2 population, and you only got 1. We just got started. Because the settler takes a population. So you can't have 1 population and get a settler. That's why it's not highlighted. But you can get a builder, a scout, a warrior, or a slinger. You also have a monument here. This is the first building to build. And it provides loyalty. And if you already have a maximum loyalty, which we do because it's our capital, it gives you +1 culture. That helps the city to grow. And we'll talk about what the metrics are here in the game before we run out of time. But let us get a monument. It takes 12 turns. That's how the game works. It's based on turns. And now we have something being built in the capital. Each turn will go by. It'll get less and less till finally we have a monument. It's for our government, national identity, that sort of thing. That's why it's cultural. Now, as you can see up here, there are 2 different areas of the game we have to deal with. This is science. This is civics or government. This is great people and heroes. This is world climate, because this is the gathering storm, so it has climate concerns, which I certainly am very interested in my life. These are the governors. We'll check them out. History timeline. Envoy quests. These are some mods I put in that help you to understand the game or interact with the game easier. I don't always use them because I'm used to the regular game, but the first thing we need to do here, as this circle is, what do you got to do next? You always hit this circle, and what this will do is open up the tech tree. There's the tech. And if you want to open up the whole tree and take a look at it, which we do, you hit this button here. And this is the tech tree. Right here are the basic techs. There's no way to boost these. You just got, I'm going to choose animal husbandry so we can find out where the horses are. That's what I like to do first. Then I'll get mining and pottery and as we go. Now, if you look at this second level, you see that there's something different here. There's these boosts. just going to show you this one because we're about to get this one. This is astrology. It takes 20 turns to get astrology, and when you do get astrology, you'll be able to build shrines. This is a wonder, Stonehenge. You'll be able to have Stonehenge. And usually it's +2 faith, I think, but with our mods, it beefs up the wonders, so it's +6 faith. Really overpowered, but we want some help in this game, so it's fun for you. So we're going to do that eventually. I don't know if we'll get Stonehenge or not. This is a holy site, our first district we can build. I want to get this because I want to get a religion. And there's only so many prophets in the game, and there's a lot more civilizations than there are prophets, so we have to get one quick. It's time limited. They run out. So I'm going to want to get astrology, but I'm going to want to get it boosted. So if I find a natural wonder, as it says here on the bottom, this much of this tech will be gone, and you'll get it automatically. It'll take up 40% of the turns, so you'll see once we find a natural wonder that this will be like, 13 turns, something like that, and all the rest will be 20 still until we get the boost. We can farm a resource, get the boost for irrigation. We can meet another civilization to get the boost for writing, and this will accelerate our progress through the tech tree so we can get advanced text, right, all the way up to the space age, and we'll make our way through that tree. Science points, if you get science by beefing up your science, and there are ways in the game to do that, you'll get each of these turns taken off. There'll be less and less turns the more and more science you get. That means you can go through the science technology faster than the other civilizations and win. I know we're getting a little overtime here, but I want to make sure that I can give a basic instruction to people who don't know how to play the game. Those of you who do know how to play the game, well, I hope forgive me this introduction, because I want to encourage people who don't know how to play the game. I want to show them how to play it. I want to encourage them to play it. I'm not sponsored by Firaxis Games or anything. I just like the game. Now here's Code of Laws. We're working on it. Every ancient civilization has codes of laws, and this is our civics tree. Now the technology is for science. The civics tree is ruled by culture. And here's culture here. It's kind of purplish pink. Science is blue. And throughout the whole game, anything that has to do with science is going to be blue. Anything that has to do with culture is going to be pinkish purple. And that's the code in the game that you use. Faith is also another way that you can get power in the game by accumulating faith through religious part of the game. And you can use faith to buy things just like gold. And gold, of course, is great because you can buy things with it. Now, these have boosts as well. If you want the boost for craftsmanship, it's 31 turns. When you get the boost, it takes 40% off. So that makes it, 16, 17 turns, something like that. Don't want to do the maths. But what we have here are policy cards. These are cards that you put in your government that give you advantages. So we'll try to be boosting what we can here and to get ourselves through this civics tree so we can get a government here. It's our first government here, and get defensive tactics, feudalism, urbanization, everything right through to the end. So that's how we accelerate the evolution of our ancient civilization to the space age. You have all these policies. Now, some of these are blank policies due to the 3 times wonder mod I put in to overpower the game for us, so we can have fun. But yeah, don't worry about that. That's something else. It's not a big deal. Okay, we're over time here. We've settled Rome. We have gold in the game, and we have Diplo favor. We do have a World Congress that we vote at. We win or lose Diplo favor. And you can sell Diplo favor. You can use it in the game. And envoys to city-states. City-states are very important in the game. Vatican City is a city-state. It gives you, it's a religious city-state, so it gives you faith and religious bonuses. And we'll meet city-states throughout the game. I think we got a good start here, and I want to thank you very much for coming along on the journey once again. And for your views, it means the world to me. I really appreciate that more than anything else. But if you want to like the video, please do. You want to comment, that's great. Anything I say here, you're welcome to debate. As long as you're not disagreeable, you can disagree. And as long as you're cordial, polite, don't insult anybody or accuse anybody of the crimes against humanity or anything like that in the comment section, you'll be fine. If you do, I'll definitely delete your comment. If you don't, I'll definitely respond to your comment. So no problem there. If you want to share the stream to gamers you think might enjoy this sort of soft Bob Ross kind of approach to Civilization 6, then please share the stream, or the video, I should say. I'm not streaming. Also want to check out my other playlists. There's Caesar 4. I played every city in the retro game Caesar 4. If you haven't seen that, go and check that out. We have a good time with that. Also, I have travel videos of all my travels to Amsterdam and to Ireland and to Mexico. I have music videos. I'm a musician, a self-taught folk musician, so I do a lot of cover tunes of Beatles and Dylan and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and all the singer-songwriters from the 70s. When I came of age, I graduated high school in 75. The Vietnam War was over, and the wars in the Middle East and in Latin America hadn't started yet, so we're the only generation of peace in the history of the world that didn't have a war to define us. So I'll be talking about that. I am a pacifist, and I'll be talking about that. I do have political videos. I do have spiritual videos where I do readings and I talk about spirituality. I also have videos that recite poetry, my own and other people's. Lots of my own original songs. I've written over 50 songs of my own that I share on my channel. So please subscribe, and you'll know when I come out with the next episode. We're far over my time here, so I think we're good with this initial introduction. Thank you so much. I really love you and appreciate you, and look forward to hanging out with you again on the next one. Take care, everybody, and thanks a lot for watching. See ya.